So, dear students, today we are going to be learning very important topic known as a voice. This is known one of the important topics in English grammar, and voice is known one of the advanced topics also in English grammar. All right?
Yes, sir.
So, we will learn how to make passive voice from the active. What are the methods that can be followed for making passive voice, and it is very easy, it's not difficult at all. You just need to pay attention here. First of all, understanding the concept of tenses. Once you have the confident in tenses, easily you can make the passive voice. All right?
Yes, sir.
As we have been studying in English language, there are 3 tenses. It has 4 parts. And then in the same manner here also, first of all, we will learn the tense. After that, it is going to be very easy for us to make the passive voice. All right?
Yes, sir.
Look at here. The first tense is known the present simple. As I told you, we have 3 tenses in English language: present, past and future. And then it has 4 parts. The first part of the tense out of 4 is known as a present simple, or else we can say present indefinite. Fine. So, what are the things that we need to keep in our mind when we say present indefinite tense? Prashant, come here. What are the important things that we must be keeping in our mind when we say present indefinite tense? Because most common mistake people make, that is known as a present indefinite tense.
S or yes.
S or es, where?
He, she, it plus S or yes.
That means all the singular subject will follow the first form of verb plus ses. All right?
Yes, sir.
And what about the plural subject?
Not use S.
In plural subject, no need to use s and es with the first form of verb. That is the understanding about present indefinite tense. So, what else we must know when we say present indefinite tense?
Negative tense with singular we use does not, and with plural we use do not.
Okay, very good. Sit down. Now look at here. So when we talk about present indefinite tense, first of all we must know we use the SCS with the first form of verb if the subject is singular. All right? If the subject is plural, so we don't use SES at all with the first form of verb. That we must be aware of. Okay? Second thing is that when we want to make the negative tense of present indefinite, we must be know how to use do not or does not. Because do not or does not is used in the present indefinite tense. When we want to make negative, interrogative, interrogative negative, or WH negative also. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
So, present indefinite, the tense is here. I write a letter. To make the passive voice, a letter is written by me. A letter is written by me. I don't write a letter.
A letter is not written by me.
Do I write a letter?
Is a letter written by me?
Do I not write a letter?
Isn't a letter written by me?
Is a letter not written by me? Why do I write a letter? Why is a letter written by me? Why don't I write a letter? Why isn't a letter written by me? So, in the same way, now we go for the past indefinite. In the past indefinite, we use the second form of verb. That's it. We use the second form of verb, and then to make the passive voice, we use was, were plus third form of verb. To make the passive voice of simple past tense, first of all we must have the ability to recognize the simple past tense. When we talk about simple past tense, means simple past tense will follow the second form of verb with all the subjects. That is known the past indefinite tense. And if we want to make the passive voice of past indefinite tense, we must know that we use was, were plus third form of verb. Was with the singular and then verb in the plural, but it will be decided how the object is. If the object is singular, then we will be using was. If the object is plural, then we will be using were. For example, I wrote a letter. A letter was written by me. I did not write a letter. A letter wasn't written by me. Did I write a letter? Was a letter written by me? Did I not write a letter? Was a letter not written by me? When did I write a letter? When was a letter written by me? When did I not write a letter? When was a letter not written by me? This is known as the past indefinite, making the passive voice of all past indefinite. It is not like we are taking the positive tense. It can be the negative, it can be the interrogative. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Next is called, if you want to make the passive voice of future tense, the future tense will follow will. Fine. And then first form of verb, to making the passive voice of future tense, we will be using will be. Will be plus third form of verb. Will be plus third form of verb. He will write a letter. A letter will be written by him. He will not write a letter. A letter will not be written by him. Will he write a letter? Will a letter be written by him? Will he not write a letter? Will a letter not be written by him? When will he write a letter? When will a letter be written by him? This we will be using for the future. Simple. And then now very easy, that is known as the continuous tenses. In continuous tenses, to make the passive voice, we will be following is being, was being. That's it. Is being plus V3, was being plus B3, and am also sometime, am being plus B3. Fine. He is writing a letter. A letter is being written by him. He is not writing a letter. A letter is not being written by him. It will be following something like this. It will also go for the 6 sentences. Yeah. If there is ing, here we will follow the ing form. And to make the passive, it will be going for the being plus the third form of verb. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next is called perfect. Now in perfect tenses, to make the passive voice, with has we will follow has been, with had we will follow had been, and with have we will follow have been. Had we will be using for the past perfect. Fine. Present perfect has been and have been. Past perfect had been with all. For example, he has written a letter. A letter has been written by him. He hasn't written a letter hasn't been written by him. Has he written a letter? Has a letter been written by him? Hasn't he written a letter? Hasn't a letter been written by him? Hasn't a letter been written by him? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
This will be followed by the perfect tense. In the same manner for had also. Fine. We had written a letter. A letter had been written by us. We hadn't written a letter had not been written by us. So very easiest methods of learning passive voice. What we need to understand, first of all we need to understand that which tense is this. Once we know the tenses, after that it is easy to make the passive voice. And then the students sometimes they are not able to make the passive voice because most of the time they are only learning the statement kind of tenses. The statement kind of tenses means they are learning the first tense, the first part. When the tense is in the negative or interrogative, students finding difficulty to make the passive voice because they have no idea if the tense is coming in a negative form or in the interrogative form, what kind of helping verb is used there, and if we need to make the passive voice, and which kind of helping verb will be using when we are making the passive voice of any particular tense. Any questions, any doubts? He stole my book.
My book was stolen by him.
Sit down. Very good. The postman will deliver the letters. Make the passive voice.
The letters will be delivered by the postman.
Once again.
The letters will be delivered by the postman.
Very good. Sit down. Very good. See, the letters will be delivered by the postman. Okay, make the passive voice. He built this house in 1961.
This house was built in 1961.
Okay, very good. Sit down.